Okay, I thought what I would do is just use Screencastify, one of the apps, the extensions that I just can't live without, to record what we had talked about. Okay, so let me close out of a couple of things. Okay, we talked about a product that we created 2011, 2012 called GooPLE, GOOPLE, and the G and the PLE is all capitalized, and it stands for Google Inspired Personal Learning Environment. And so we have this here. This is a GooPLE, and we tried to make it look as closely as possible like our very own Fort Hays webpage. And let me show you real quick what that looks like. You start to see some familiarities there, and just don't have the rotating screen with the pictures in the front like the university does. Okay, so this is pretty close. And we don't have these tools across the top because Google Sites doesn't allow us to have that up there. Or at least I haven't figured out how to do that yet. I've been doing this for a long time. So we just use the horizontal toolbar here. All right, so this is what we've tried to emulate. Kind of going back and forth here. Did use a couple of the tools that you provided as extensions. I don't have them loaded here, but eyedropper, because this is the official university webpage. So went in here and found out the hex key code for this, which gave us this key here. Limitations that Google Sites has. We also tried to get the same color scheme going here over in this gray area. Tried to just emulate as much as possible what the students were accustomed to seeing. The other thing that we did was we have an area here. This particular course could be taught by multiples of adjuncts, and the only difference is they'd use the same shell and they would just add their name here. All the program information is through here. Anything that has anything to do with the university, starting with the program or the departments right here. All course content is up here, which is a little bit different now in the newer version. I was getting a little worried that you guys would retire the old sites, so I made the same thing. I couldn't copy anything over necessarily unless it was in a Google Doc, but we've just exploited what y'all have given us to exploit. Google Calendar. We have 7 courses in our program, and we have probably about 9 adjuncts, and they all use a shell just like this. The only thing that's different in any of the shells, other than the names of the instructors, is the dates it's posted on the calendar. In fact, we even have a couple of faculty in here, adjuncts, that want to use a different calendar than the rest, and they will share their calendar specifically with their students. But most of the adjunct, if I'm teaching the course at the same time, they'll use the calendar that I have put in place. So adjuncts basically just come in and grade for us. All the work is done by me or the instructor of record, but we have multitudes of people taking this course with one shell. In Blackboard, you would have to have one shell for everybody. We teach in modules, which is one of the things that Blackboard likes. And we've been trying to make it be somewhat like Blackboard. Okay, so we went out and found some research to explain. We have a grading rubric here using a Google presentation, explaining. We try to provide a rationale for everything. Throw in some gifts, not trying to make it be too artsy. We are standards based, and this is going over the rubric that we use, Google Forms. Using Autocrat, they get an automatic email from us at the conclusion of the grading cycle with a PDF that has their personalized information in it. And these are the topics that we use. And then we have the modules down here, and we just link them up. Module 1's a video, which we're using Google YouTube video when you allowed that a long time ago, and then it got taken away, and then now you got live streaming. We can go back. Right now, people are using Screencastify to record their videos. Again, absolutely everything is Google-based. And we're using Norman Webb's depth of knowledge keywords here to make sure that we're involving higher critical thinking skills. We have peer reviews. They do an introduction video that gets posted into the community. And then we also require them to provide peer feedback for all these various different assignments. Okay, so we have the modules, social media policy, a Google Doc that just says, be kind to one another. That's a Google Doc that's actually shared in several of these GooPLEs. Makes it really easy to change at a drop of a hat, per se. Standards, we have these set up. At one time, they were the ISLIC standards, and now the professional standards for educational leaders. Got them in, of course, a Google form. And these are things that they have to address. Syllabus, again, is a Google Doc that's been embedded. Tutorials are YouTube videos. This will probably have the sheet, Google Doc, with some different links in it. I'm not going to wait for it to pop up. We do use various other Web 2.0 tools that we provide them here as a quick access. Okay, so now let's see. This was first semester. Let me show you the community that went with it. Right here. And just absolutely live and breathe inside a Google community. And I use this split screen function here, which is another nice extension when I'm grading with my Google form on one side and the community over here. Okay, so we asked them to do Powtoons. That was their last assignment. That was Module 12. Let's go in here and take a look at some of the introduction videos, kind of give you an idea. But the thing that we really like about the community is here we ask them to create a Google slide to provide the information behind us and then provide a narration. And we always say, make sure your face is in the video. We don't want to hear you talking. We can read that in your words, but we want to see you because we're at such a distance. We want to make this as informal and sociable as possible. And then let's take a look at, and what you'll see, the module 2 is where they come in and provide their comments. We tell them to post underneath the video, provide some commentary there. We do just plain old discussions from time to time, where I'll provide a link to an article. The Horizon report, every year I have to change this. I'm waiting for 2018 to come out. We've got people, I guess they prefer to have it be more professional looking than putting it in the context of just a blog. I actually prefer it in the form of just using the community to post your feedback, but they prefer it this way. They don't get penalized one way or another. I love being able to OnePlus it because I OnePlus it after I've read it and graded it. All right, so that was the discussion. And they're not required to post on all of these, but they do many times. Let's see, that was 4. Let's take a look at 5. 5 is definitely an activity because 5A is a peer review for it. And looks like they're addressing 7 traits to leading an online, the barriers to Web 2.0, different assignment. Again, we like to see them. And here they're providing the peer feedback. We call it Oreo cookie. And that's basically the community. Absolutely love it. The one thing that I really like what you guys have done most recently is we have multitudes of students that will be signed up in several courses at the same time in various other communities. And this thing that just popped, that's what I absolutely love. If a student does really poorly on an assignment, you can't post that in the community because everybody can see it, but you can send them an email. Especially if you're grading these things for late at night. And I love that piece. One of the things that I'm not seeing on this particular one is that, and I know recently when I've clicked on them, I get every email, and it could be because it's been 6 weeks since this course, all contact with that particular person. Maybe it's going to do it now. There we go. Oh my gosh, this is just super cool. Gives me a ton of information, and you can start to see the grade reports that we sent and anything that has to do with this particular student. It is all right here. I love it. And then I can also come in here and at the time she was probably only enrolled in this one class, but when they're enrolled in more than one class and they have more than one community, then I'm able to go in and click and make sure they've done everything for me. I'm not sure what the star does and where I'm able to find that information later. But anyway, absolutely love using the community. All our assignments are posted here. It's very open. It's very transparent. Everybody sees everybody. The communication is superb. They refer this to a very family-like setting. They act very informally, professionally. They absolutely love this here, along with the GooPL. All right, so here is the newest version of this, and you can automatically see. And let me out of this. And this is what I wish you guys would allow the community to be embedded into a Google Doc. That would just be awesome. When in doubt, come down here. Okay. And I've been wanting to convert over to the new sites. I haven't. I keep reading that you're delaying retiring it, which is good. But this is the old, this is the new. It just does not scream out to me. It's very vanilla. It's very concise. But I'm really restricted in my ability to have any creative input in this. And I can do the horizontal and the old sites. I was just really trying to do something different with this one, but my preference is this guy right here, hands down. And I hate scrolling, so I try to minimize that at the most. And let me brag, we've been doing this since about 2011, and I haven't updated this in a while, but we keep getting accolades. Best online programming from U.S. News and World Report every year, but 2013. We think our chair forgot to submit to form, but we're right up there with the best in the world. But anyway, that's a quick video, a little longer than I probably would have liked, but that's kind of what we're doing, and happy to share it with you at this particular time.